Have you ever felt like the weight of the world is on your shoulders to the point that it is pressing you into dust? Remember, we are called to walk through the fire because it refines us. I guess the biggest thing that we have to remember is to hold on. So if you're dealing with a situation in which you feel that every facet of every condition of every situation has just gone awry, do not give up. Do not give in and do not walk away from what God has given you. The Bible gives a precise promise, and that promise is that He will finish that work that He has started in you. And remember, He's going to cut this whole entire situation that we're in short in righteousness. So with that being said, does that give you some sort of clarity? Does it give you some sort of like pinpoint of direction? Dealing with my work, dealing with my family, my spouse, and everything in between, it is a heavy and almost like burden sometimes to continue on in this sinful place, this complete desolation that we are consumed by, and there's only one way out of it. And thank Christ for His perfect work. So if you are dealing with anything that relays or relates or conveys, what I'm speaking of, I hope this resonates with you. I hope this is something that gives you some sort of a lifeline. If you could take this world and realize the fact that most of the time it feels like you're drowning, but you have the greatest lifeguard ever, and that lifeguard is Christ. And He will save you. It's just in this moment of treading the water, it's very difficult. We get tired. We get stressed. We get unsure. And it's almost as if we are not fulfilling the aspect that the Lord wants us to, but that's almost, not all the time, but almost a trick of the enemy. And what he wants us to do is the fact of not relying upon Christ. It's easier said than done in our situations, especially with us men who work with our hands. We always want to figure things out. We always want to come up with the answer. We always have a way of being lucrative and frugal in any situation. But there's times where there's nothing to do. There's nothing that can be done. Then where do you have your trust? Then where do you have your faith? That's what it's going to come down to at the end as we get closer. Because right now it feels like I'm getting hammered, and I'm sure many of you are as well. But if you think that, everything is gravy and good and, this isn't you, then I don't know why you're listening, because I'm just trying to be as real as possible. And I think being real is a way that people can relate. I don't just express the good things about faith. I don't always just talk about the grand and easy way, because this way is not easy. And it's not necessarily something that can be highlighted in a positive fashion, even though it is. It's just in our little mind and our little bit of time that we have, we continue this struggle. And it's like a piano when you're playing a song. And if you're like me, you don't know how to play the piano, but once you learn, but the process of learning is very difficult for any instrument. But when you get to that point of where you can play a song, and if you really advance, how about you play a song on the piano and sing at the same time? So we're all meant to sing a song for the Lord. And that song is of praise. and of worship and fellowship. And, within my life, within your life, within all of our lives, if we can have some focal point of knowing the end game, it helps us along. So not only have I had these, different situations occurring within my family and within my work this morning, at about 3 o'clock, I had a transformer blow out. It sounded like a shotgun going off, and it woke me up, and here I am. I tried to go to bed or go back to sleep for, over an hour and a half. And it just seemed to add on to everything of this week. But I know that through prayer and my relationship with Christ, that weight will be lifted. It just might not be lifted in the way that I want it to be lifted, but it will be lifted. And it gives me something to hang on to. So if you need something to hang on to, remember, Christ is willing as a lifeguard to save you in this drowning world. He can throw you a little life jacket thing, little ring, but you have to grab it and you have to hang on, because the harder, you hang on, the harder he will pull. And that pulling, again, is in a way reflecting the idea of what I was expressing through learning any sort of instrument. It may be grueling. It may be difficult. Sometimes you just want to give up. How many times have you wanted to give up? How many times have I wanted to give up? It's a continual thing. And I know that I mess up every day. If not, weekly and yearly, I look back and how much you can grow in that amount of time. But then also you look back and how much sometimes you can falter. But the reality of the situation is, once you are in that salvational package, you have to give it up. Now, there's certain sins that you can practice that will reveal or obtain a witness that you have walked away from the salvational package that Christ has produced for you. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not practicing breaking his commandments, if you're not practicing or rebelling against him, and you've accepted him, and you believe, and you're following, and you're struggling in sin, then actually that is a good thing. But I guess the point of the whole matter is that we're here at the end, and it's only going to get harder. And it's going to be harder to remember what God said for us to remember. And that's why we have to be grounded and settled now. So throughout our life, throughout our walk in faith, I want you to stay strong. I want you to look to God, always look to God. Pray to him, connect with him, seek him through his word. That's not always easy to seek him through his word. We can read, and it doesn't mean that it soaks in. I always try to take notes when I study, but lately I haven't been doing so. I feel like I've been more called to review what I've already studied and to portray it either via podcast or just recycling it through my mind. So I'm in this interesting place in my life. I don't know if any of you are as well. But again, this pain and struggle will result in something greater. That perfect work will be completed that Christ has started in you. And again, if you decide to walk away, then he cannot save you. If you decide to give what has been given to you away, you cannot be saved. If you're practicing or rebelling against his commandments or these sins that lead to eternal death, then you cannot be saved. But if you, again, are battling with sin, if you are feeling conviction, and if you truly look to Christ and not your own hands or your own way, and you cry out to him even when all seems to be falling apart, you are in his hand. Literally, and the enemy cannot take you or pluck you out of his hand, as he said. And that's a promise. So hang on to the promises, stay true, and always look towards heaven, because he is coming soon.
Oh, take me as I am. Oh, take me as I